Hello, Grand Park community. It's Courtney. Welcome to your Yoga Ala retreat. I'm really glad you're here to practice with me today. So, in the Yoga Sutras, in the very first part of the book, the kind of goal or the reason to do yoga is laid out as a way to still the fluctuations of the mind. So, if you're a human being, your mind probably is, working a lot, thinking a lot, doing a lot, processing a lot. And that's great. That's what the mind is supposed to do. But yoga is really a practice of stilling, of being in the moment. So we can be with what's true, so we can be with what is, so we can notice what needs maybe our assistance or our help. So today in our practice, we're gonna kind of check in with the mind, see where the mind is, and then we'll use some physical movements to see if we can get into the body. So we'll be doing a really anchoring practice. We'll be focusing on what's touching down. So let's get going. Find a comfortable seat. Settle your palms either down or up on your thighs. Soften your eyes closed. Really settling the shoulders away from the ears, softening your jaw, finding a little lift of your heart, seeing what you can do to let your body arrive in this moment together. And to me, the best way to do that is to focus on the breath. So starting to notice your breath. Starting to take a little bit of ownership over the way that you're choosing to breathe. Maybe slowing down the breath. Maybe anchoring the breath in the belly. Being really mindful and intentional with sipping in air and releasing air. And then here I'm going to invite you into the space of your mind. So where is the mind? Is the mind here? Is the mind maybe where it was? Is the mind distracted by something you have to do later? Without judging it, just notice it. So we're stepping into whatever is true. We're acknowledging what is. And then we're going to do our best today to try to place the mind here, in our body, in what we're doing. I invite you here to imagine a little light in between your eyebrows, right at the center of your forehead. We're going to take some breaths into that little light. As we inhale, we'll send a bright light out. And as we exhale, we'll imagine the light diminishing out. So we'll just take 3 breaths like this through the nose. Keep your eyes soft or closed. Let your breath move all the way out. Through your nose, draw in a breath. Maybe imagine that light filling in, getting really bright between your eyebrows. As you exhale, slowly turn the light off. Through your nose, inhale a light. Through your nose, release the light. Through your nose, turn on that light between your eyebrows. As you exhale, release that light. Start to find your own breath for your practice. So if you practice Ujjayi breathing, that constricted throat breath, breathing in and out of your nose, And it sounds like the ocean, like Darth Vader. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just keep the breath moving in and out of the nose. Flutter your eyes open. And then let's meet in standing. So coming to a stand, if you have a mat, on your mat. If not, you don't need one. So taking your feet hips distance, lift your toes up, spread them wide, and set them down. So anchoring down into the feet. So pressing into the space underneath the ball of the front toe, underneath your pinky toe and your heel. Palms come out to the side, shoulders come away from your ears. Knees are soft, but legs are straight. On your next inhale, send your arms tall to the sky. Keep grounding down into your feet. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Press down especially into your right foot and reach up and over to the left. So anchoring down, shoulders roll away, breathing from your right heel all the way out to your right fingertips. Keep moving the breath through to open, to lengthen. And then inhale back to center. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Press down especially into your left heel. Reach up and over to the right. Breathing from your left heel all the way out to your left fingertips. Inhale back to center. Place your fingertips on your shoulder tips. So you have your little chicken wings, angel wings. Roll your shoulders out. So elbows come in and around and down. So drawing circles with the elbows. Listen to your body. They can be big circles. They can be smaller circles. Notice what's happening in the shoulders. And then moving your circles the opposite way. From here, as you inhale, send your arms wide, maybe a little baby back bend, looking up. Exhale, give yourself a hug, round in your spine. Take your chin into your chest. So cat-cow standing. Inhale, spread your arms wide, heart lifts, shoulders melt down. Exhale, cross your other arm forward, round in your upper back, chin into chest. 2 more times. Inhale, expand out. Exhale, collapse in. Inhale, expand out. Exhale, draws you in. From here, palms come down by your hips, shoulders melt away from your ears. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky, keep your feet rooted. Exhale, forward fold, let your head go. Inhale, hands to shins, reach your heart away from your tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more times, just like that. Breath with movement, feet anchored. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, melt your heart, release your head. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to sky. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more time. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall. Exhale, hands go to your heart. Sink your hips back. On your next inhale, chair pose. We'll pause here for just a few breaths. So the toes are really light. You might play with lifting them up. Weight is back in the heels. Heart is reaching up and forward. Tailbone is reaching down towards the back of your mat or space. As you exhale, extend your legs, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands go down, step it back for plank to your downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot for your right hand. We're staying up on the back foot today, so on the ball of your foot, coming into crescent lunge, right knee stays stacked over your right heel. Press down into what's touching earth. Let that be your anchor to come on up to our crescent lunge on the right. You can bend your knee as much as you need. If your low back is feeling a little achy today, bend your knee. You can also tap your left knee down. We'll pause here for a few breaths. Steady your gaze on a single point. Maybe imagine you were sending your breath in and out of whatever you're looking at. As you exhale, hands go back down to the earth, step back plank, downward facing dog. On your inhale, left foot step, staying up on the ball of the back foot, press into your feet, come on up, crescent lunge on the left. So again, you can bend your right knee if your low back is feeling tight. You can also set the right knee all the way down on the earth. You can also take your left foot out if you need more space and stability. Fingers are active, shoulders melting away from your ears. Steady your gaze. Steady your breath here. A few rounds of breath. As you exhale, hands go down, step back plank to downward facing dog. We'll pause here, let your head go. Pressing into your knuckles, inner arms hugging in, heart melting back for your thighs, hips reaching to the sky, heels reaching to the earth. On your inhale, forward to a plank. On your exhale, hips come up and back, down dog. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right foot steps for the right hand again. We're staying up on the ball of the back foot again. Press into your feet, re-find your crescent lunge. This time we're gonna add a twist. So before you twist, feel your feet underneath you as your anchor. Left hand goes forward, right arm goes back, like you were gonna give someone this awkward sideways hug. Find a gaze point to steady your gaze. Maybe back at your right hand, maybe forward towards your left hand, or somewhere in between. Find your breath. Feel your feet as your anchor. Steady yourself in the experience of this pose. From here, left hand goes down to the floor. If you can't reach the floor, maybe tap your left knee down, or you could put something underneath your left hand, a pillow, a block, a book. Right hand is reaching up over your right shoulder. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, right hand goes down, step it back, plank, downward facing dog. On your inhale, left foot steps. We're up on the ball of the back foot again. Press down into your feet. Lift yourself up, crescent on the left. You can bend your knee, your right knee. You can set your right knee down. So anchor your feet before you move into the twist. So feel the feet glued to the earth. Right hand goes forward, left arm goes back. Choose a gaze point. Steady your breath. Steady your attention on the point that you're looking at. We call this a drishti in yoga. Anchoring your feet. Inhale, come on up. And then set the right hand down to the floor. You can tap your right knee down. Left arm reaches tall to the sky. Find a place that you can gaze that's okay for your neck. Take one more really big inhale. Exhale, left hand goes down, plank. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back for your feet. If you don't feel like you have enough space, you could take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. We're just dangling in a fold, releasing the back, releasing your head. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows or letting your fingertips dangle. Glue your feet down to the earth here. Put a little bend into your knees. And then slowly roll yourself up to stand. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to come into tree pose. So I teach this pose a lot because it requires a lot of focus. And it also helps us to come into the moment because we can't really balance when we're thinking about something else, when we're doing something else. So maybe come to a wall. If you know that balance might be a little challenging, or even if you've never done this before, maybe coming to a wall. Hands come to your hips. We'll start on the left leg. So if you're coming to a wall, you'd position your left hand at the wall. Before we start, choose a gaze point. So that will help us to focus and ground the pose. Maybe spreading your left toes wide, setting them down. So gluing that left foot to the earth, sending your left thigh back. That's the trunk of our tree, and then right foot gets light, placing it like a little kickstand at your left ankle. So left hand can be to a wall. Notice what happened to the breath and the focus. Notice if you're not anchoring in your left foot, anchor in your left foot, anchor in your gaze point, anchor in your breath. You're already in tree, so you're welcome to stay here. If you want to play with another version, you could take your foot to the calf. You could take your foot to the inner thigh. Press your leg into your foot as much as you're pressing foot into leg. Keep anchoring down into your standing leg. Keep anchoring into your drishti. And then maybe rise your arms tall. Maybe not. Maybe the hand stays at the wall. How's your breath? Where's your mind? Can you bring it here? Even if you're wobbling, even if you're falling out, can you keep trying to grow your tree from the seed? So starting at the beginning with the foot at the ankle or your hand at the wall. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, release. Really great. Everyone, let's come to the other side. So if you're coming to a wall, right hand comes to the wall. Maybe lifting up the toes of your right foot, spreading your toes wide, setting your foot down, finding your gaze point, steadying your attention on that. And then your left foot comes in like a kickstand at your right ankle. And just check in here. Before we grow our tree, we have to know what kind of tree we're growing today. So if you're noticing you're a little off balance today, take it down a notch. If you notice like, wow, I'm feeling really stable today, maybe you take the foot to the calf, to the inner thigh, pressing the leg into the foot as much as you're pressing foot into leg. Keep grounding down into your right standing foot. Keep your gaze focused on a single point. Keep the breath moving through. See, it requires a lot of us being here and now, right? And then you're welcome to stay as you are. If it would feel nice to grow your branches tall, maybe taking your arms tall to the sky. If that compromised the pose or it made you feel off balance, maybe come back to the wall. Maybe take the foot down to the ankle again. Wherever you are, take one last full breath. And then exhale it down back to mountain pose. So spread your toes wide, set them down, thighs go back, shoulders go away from ears, heart reaching tall. Feel the feet underneath you that are being held up by the earth. Beautiful, my friends. Let's come to a wall. So we're going to take legs up the wall. This is an incredibly grounding pose in my experience. So to come to legs up the wall, if you already know it, go ahead, get into it. If you're new, welcome. And let's come into legs up the wall. So it doesn't matter which side that you come to, and if you don't have a free wall space in your house or your apartment or wherever you are, you could come to a closet door. That's what I tend to use. You could come to a cabinet, just something where you'll be safe to put your legs up and things aren't gonna fall down and hit you in the face. So take your shoulder, your hip to something. Slide your hips forward, come down to your elbows. And it's really, it will save you some time and energy later to make sure that your hip and your shoulder are as close to the wall, the door, the cabinet as possible. From here, keeping that contact with what you're putting your legs up, come to an L shape with your bottom flush against whatever you're putting your legs up. And if you didn't get close to the wall, come back down and set it up instead of kind of trying to scoot into the wall. So you come back down, shoulder, hip to wall, and then send your legs up. From here, you can take your arms nice and wide. You could also rest your hands on your body somewhere. Find some space around your neck by taking your shoulders down away from your ears. Notice if you're clenching in your jaw, maybe soften there. And then I'm going to recommend to soften the eyes closed. If that doesn't feel good to you, you could also keep a soft gaze at a point on the ceiling. We're going to be here for this restorative pose for a couple minutes. It's normal to feel some sensation, some tingling in the legs. If at any point something doesn't feel right or it's too much sensation, you are welcome to bend your knees, rest the soles of the feet against the wall, and then rejoin us whenever you're ready. So just a couple minutes here, maybe focusing on your breath or focusing on the sensations in the body. So from here, we're gonna come into a gentle hip stretch at the wall. You'll probably fare better if you're a little bit away from the wall here. So go ahead, bend your knees, place the soles of the feet against the wall, and then press yourself away like 6 inches or so. Then we'll re-slide the left leg up the wall. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. So we're in a figure 4 here. And then we're gonna come to stretch the right hip by sliding the left heel down the wall any amount. So the max stretch would be if the left heel is parallel with the left knee. That doesn't mean you have to go to that place. We wanna find a space where we can stretch and breathe. So you can come to like a halfway, maybe your hip's really tight today and your leg is straight. So put a little flex in your right foot. You can rest your hands wherever they feel most comfortable. And we're just gonna take 3 breaths into our right hip here. So let your exhale move out. Through your nose, send a breath to that right hip. Through your nose, maybe release something out of that right hip. Through your nose, breathe into your right hip. Through your nose, release something out of that right hip. Through your nose, breathe into your right hip. Through your nose, release something out of your right hip. Replace your right foot to the wall, and then you're gonna slide that right leg all the way up the wall. So straight right leg. Left ankle is gonna take a cross over the right thigh this time. So there's a little flex in the left foot, and then you'll start to slide your right heel down the wall any amount. So remember, the closer your heel is to the line of your knee, that's going to be more stretch. So find something that's appropriate where you can definitely stay engaged with breath. So we don't really release anything when we're gripping or holding. So find a place where you feel some resistance, but you can breathe with it. From here, let your exhale move out. Through your nose, breathe into your left hip. Through your nose, release from your left hip. Through your nose, breathe into your left hip. Through your nose, release from your left hip. Through your nose, breathe into your left hip. And through your nose, release from your hip. From here, replace your left foot back to the wall. And then rolling over to one side, making a little shelf for your head with your inner arm. Use your free hand to press yourself up. And then from here, we're gonna find a comfortable position on our back. So I'm gonna talk us through some breath and relaxation. So find a way where you can be comfortable in your body. You could even come to lie in your bed if that is most comfortable. So find a comfortable position. If your back is achy today, you might feel more comfortable to rest the soles of your feet down and take your knees up and over your heels. So from here, let your body settle. Maybe soften your eyes closed. And really feel what's touching the earth here. So let your body release into the floor, the bed, wherever you are. From here, we're gonna come into 10 rounds of counting breaths. So this is where we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And we're going to do that 10 rounds. So all you have to do is focus on inhaling when I say inhale and exhaling when I say exhale. Let your breath move all the way out. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. That's 1. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 2. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 3. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 4. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 5. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 6. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 7. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 8. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 9. Through your nose, draw in breath. Through your nose, release breath. 10. And then allow your breath to move in however it wants. If you need to make any adjustments in your body to be more comfortable, please take a moment to do that. I'm going to talk us through a guided relaxation exercise, so I'd like you to be as comfortable and supported as possible. So once you find a way to be in your body, see if you can commit to being still for the next few minutes. So just really giving yourself this space from your day to be here, to release here, to be in the moment together in relaxation. So eyes soften, closed. We'll start to draw some awareness to the feet. So softening into your feet. Softening into your toes and your ankles. Releasing in your shins and your calves. Allowing your knee joints to soften. Allowing your thighs to be heavy and release. Allowing your hips to soften open to the sky. The low back rests down here, allowing your middle and your upper back to soften down, the shoulders to come away from your ears. The arms hang heavy at the sides, elbow joints are soft, forearms release, wrist joints are soft, palms release. Letting each one of your fingers soften. Coming into the space of your belly. So just noticing if you're holding or gripping in the belly. No judgment if you are, just noticing. And maybe softening the belly wide and open to the sky. Coming into the space of your beautiful heart. Allow your chest and your heart to be soft and open. Allowing your neck and your throat to release here. Allowing the jaw to soften. So notice if you're gripping at the hinge of your jaw, let the jaw be loose. Allowing the tongue to be heavy inside your mouth. The cheeks to melt down on the face. Allowing breath to move in and out of your nose. As you allow sound to come in and out of your ears. Maybe noticing what you hear and allowing your relationship to sound to be a way to be here and now. Allowing your eyes to really soften, the eyelids to be heavy. Maybe even imagine your eyelashes were weighted. Allowing that space between your eyebrows to soften here. The forehead to release. And if any thoughts come and go through your mind, let them come and go. But maybe see them as little clouds floating across the sky of your mind. So not attaching to them. If you notice that you're thinking, maybe just think thought or I'm thinking, and then let the thought move by. Allowing the top of your head and your hair even to release. Once again, noticing your entire body in space. And we'll finish together by just noticing. Maybe it's an area we touched before, maybe it's something that I missed, but noticing an area of the body that might feel tight or closed off in some way. And if there's many areas, maybe just choose one area to focus on. We're just going to take 3 breaths into this area, bringing some attention and awareness to it. And then maybe softening to open or release. So let your exhale move out. As you inhale, draw some awareness to this area, maybe even see a light going on. As you exhale, put out that light or release. 2 more times. Inhale into this area. And exhale to release. Last one, inhale into this area. Exhale to release. Let your breath move back in however it wants. And from here, we'll just come into 2 minutes of Shavasana, final rest, allowing yourself to be here in the space of your body, in the space you've created in your practice. So starting to draw some awareness back to your breath. Finding some gentle movements in your fingers and your toes, maybe some little wiggles. If it would feel nice to come into a big open stretch, maybe taking your arms up and overhead, pointing your toes away from the body. Eventually rolling over to your right side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Using your free hand to press yourself back up to a comfortable seat, just like we started together. And just resting the palms down on the thighs, settling your hips down, rising your heart up, shoulders melt down. Maybe noticing how the mind is. Maybe noticing if some of the little fluctuations and fluttering of thoughts has become a little bit more stable. Maybe you feel a little bit more connected to this moment together, or whatever you're experiencing, just being with it, being in it. From here, drawing your hands in a gesture at your heart, bowing your chin into the wisdom of that heart. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Graham Park, for having us. The light in me sees and honors the light in all of you. Thank you.